Good morning, guys. I'll be teaching on how to convert from one page to another in a slice of string using code. So, example, yeah, I'll just use simple example like converting from base 8 to base 10. So, I'm using VS Code. So, let me do touch main.go. We have to create a main.go file. So, in our main.go file, we would be writing or using or importing the OS and where the main function will be happening. So let's say package main import. So we'll be importing FMT import OS. So function main. So in our main function, because we are checking our file from the terminal, we're using the OS. Since we're using the OS import, we're importing from OS. Then we need to check the length of argument because we're passing argument into our OS or into our terminal. So say let's check the length of OS. So if length of OS dot argument so is not equals to 3. So we ask you to print, we ask you to do something. Print len that is we say usage that is go run dot that is we say sample dot txt. So we say input dot txt output dot txt. So or sorry, this is printed in. So let's say fmt dot create an example. So I'm just creating this example, it's not compulsory actually. So go run dot say let's say in our this thing is we use sample to save our text file. Sample dot txt result dot txt. Then we'll continue. No sorry, return to break. So we get our input file. So let's say our input data. Our input data is takes the first argument. Take the first argument of one, then our output data. Take the second argument. Take the second argument. Now, I will explain this better very soon. So the next thing we're going to read file. We're going to read file and check for help. So data error that is os dot read file in the input data. So we'll read the file. So then we check if error is not new, then we ask you to do something. That is, if the read file is not present, why to do something? So printed then error reading file, or let's say error reading input file. So error. This is a constant. This error is a constant in Golang, which you did that no such file or directory. So let's return. So break that loop. And after this, after I've read the file, we're going to string selected data. So we can say processed file, processed file. So that's string data. Then after we've processed the file, then we read our output file. We're checking for error too. The read file. No, sorry, we're writing. Sorry, write file. Because after we've read the input data, we're going to write it. So it needs to be written on the OS with the write file. That's output data. So we're going to byte it. Byte process file. Then we'll create a read write function. Create a read write function. Then if error is not present, or is not new, just so say error writing file. So error. Maybe it's not present, then we are done. Then return error. Return. Then let's print our success. Let's print our let's make it like a success, like what you've done. You were successful. Successfully let's just say success. We just put out success. Input data, output data. So that one. Let's check if what we did is correct. So we can just run dot. No. Before we do that, let's create our sample.txt file. So we can say touch sample.txt file. So it is here we're going to create our list. Oh, there's no go mode. Go mode. So let's say go mode. In it, let's open it. We are returning our go mode. Go loaded. Record. Now touch sample. No, okay. Let's just create our file directly. Sample.txt. So inside here we're going to write whatever we want to convert. Yeah, I want to convert Octal. Let's say from Octal, like number in base 8 to base 10. So let's say this is okay. So tomorrow is 677. Numbers in base 8 are numbers lesser than 8. Tomorrow 677. So we're converting this 677 in Octal. So let's check if this thing works. Go run dot sample.txt. So use it here. Go run dot sample.txt result. So because it's not complete, so we say go run dot sample.txt results.txt. So success sample.txt result.txt. Yeah, we are good to go. Yes. So success sample.txt and result.txt. So then we'll create our function to convert Octal. Sorry. So let's say change dot go. So here we're doing package main. So import. So let's import fmt. So if we don't need to remove it, import string converter. Yes. So here we're creating a function. I'm not using function main here because we're not creating the function. Function to convert opt word or comes opt. So it will take into argument taking just one argument. So which is a word or let's use text. And with the string, the type of input is a string. Then to give out a string. So we're going to split this text because whenever we want to change anything, we need to split the string. Is a slice of string that we're going to split it. So let's create another variable. What is equal to strings dot field text. Having done this, this means that this input of text with a string has been splitted. We've separated it. So then let's say for I, let's say our index is equals to 0. For I start at 0. So I less than length of words I plus plus. This iteration, like we are creating for a loop that would iterate through the words which index starting at 0. In our sample.txt now, we have just 0, 1, 2, 3. Up as is at the index of 3, but the length of this word is 4. The length of the word or the string is 4. So you can say if words at high equals or is opt. Now, the reason why we have to put the opt into the string is once this string does field, split this text like let me see, our sample.txt is tomorrow is 677 opt. So it will turn it will split it like this. Tomorrow is 677 opt. So it would split the string like this. So each of the string would have its own string. Or each of the string will be stringed. Let me put that way. Opt and I is less than length. Oh, sorry, and I is greater than 0. That is, you need to be sure that the word at opt is greater than 0. It's not because we are changing the word before the octal. So we'll say what at I minus 1, and is word before, is equal to change opt. So change opt what at I minus 1. Now that is word before. So in this sample.txt, we're changing the word before, which is 677. We want to change to decimal, right? So that is change opt at I minus 1 before. Then after we change it, we're going to remove word. Then say word at high. Word is equal to remove word So we're going to create a function for or change up and just remove word. Remove word at high. Then we'll stop our loop. Then the next thing, we're going to join the words. So return strings dot join. Sorry, should be in capital. Join words. Create a like space in each of the words. And that's why this is an empty string. Then having done that, we'll create another function to change this opt. So now we'll say um, function change opt. Change opt. If you taking a word, you can send anything with a string. You know the opt is a string, and to return a string. Then see if no, yes, sorry, no is a word like a string. It takes a string. The function takes an input of word with a string and return a string. Then we create a variable called no, and we check for the error. So the error is we do string convert dot pass int. Pass the int, which is no, that is the number. The base no is in base 8. Then we create the bit byte 64. Then we check if error not new. So just return the word. Meaning if error not new, meaning if the word is not in base 8, let's say it's in base 10, just return the text or the number. So return word. Then we're going to return append on return string convert dot that format int. So we're now formatting the int to base 10, which is the number to base 10. Format int, sorry. Yes. Format int to base 10. Sorry, this should be string. This thing we're passing the word which is in base 8 and the byte 64 or bit 64. Then we'll create a function for remove word. Let's say function to remove word. Remove word. So it takes in also, let's say it takes in a word which is a slice of string. And takes into input and takes the index. You can use I or index with an integer and returns a slice of string. Now, then we return append. That is this word that is from the beginning of the index. That is from 0 to that index. And we're adding it with word. So word after the index. So we're using +1 to the end. That is word after the index to the end. So that is to remove that word. So now we are skipping that index, that word at that index, particular index that we have removed. We're actually skipping that is to remove the word. So let's check if our distance would run. So we're going to add this function into our main.go, that is convert opt. So in our main.go, where we process the file, so we just say process file equals convert opt. So process file. So we're saving it. We're saving the function inside this process file. It will store it. So let's try to run our code. So let's check our results. Can you see? It has converted to pasting. I think we're good to go. If we have any questions, we can ask.